Right, welcome to another bit of knowledges, and this one is about Jesus Lane. Right, Jesus Lane is a street in Cambridge, England. Right, so if you know about the network of Cambridge and Oxford, right, they're basically behind all the news, all the stories on the news, right, and it looks like the Bible and all the type of religious stuff as well. Right? And of course, if you watch any TV programs on the TV, the names at the end, right? When you see the list of names, for 90+% of them, if not 98% of them or whatever, have all got Cambridge degrees or Oxford degrees. So it's all a Cambridge Oxford type of a world, right? The creation of this world, what they make, right? So you have this Jesus Lane. So Janus, right? Jesus Lane, Janus. So it's the Jesus face at the front and the sort of the horrible face at the back, the Janus, right? Jesus Lane. So there's interesting things about it, right? You've got this thing called the Pit Club, right? The Pit Club in 7A Jesus Lane, right? Yeah. The south is King Street, right? King Street, Maids Causeway, Newmarket, Jesus Green. Manuel Road, right? And past Christ's Pieces. Christ's Pieces. Remember how the Osiris one was chopped into pieces? His penis was chopped into pieces in that scene. Nunnery of St. Mary, Jesus College. Jesus Lane on the West End. There's a lot of a strange St. John's, All Saints. Very strange place, right? And this is the University Pit Club, right? Has the premises at 78 Jesus Lane. And this interesting bit has premises at 78 Jesus Lane, right? Later, the club bought the entire building, right? This Pit Club is supposedly named after the old William Pitt, who was one of the prime ministers, right? But as we know, this stuff's never so straightforward, right? 25 for 7 to the Pizza Express chain, right? The club sold, the lease sold to the Pizza Express chain, right? So the club has the first floor of the building, Pizza Express. It's called the Pit Club, right? 78 Jesus Lane, Pit, Pizza, Pit. Remember how we have pita bread as well, like a flatbread thing and all that, right? Of course you have Brad Pitt, right? Brad Pitt. So obviously that Brad Pitt is named after this, because he's a eunuch servant of these people, right? University of Cambridge, right? Second oldest university in the English speaking world, right? It's a private members club, right? The club, Pit Club, 78 Jesus Lane, right? The facade of the Pit Club. The facade. So it's basically a facade for other things, right? The Pit Club, Michaelmas Term, right? Feast of St. Michael and all the Angels. Obviously we know who the Michael is in terms of the Kent brothers, right? Named in honour of William Pitt the Younger, right? Prominent Tory Prime Minister. But obviously there's got to be more to it than that, right? As we know, the facade of the Pit Club, right? Trinity Street, see, the Holy Trinity. So basically it looks as if all the religious stuff is coming out of this network of Cambridge and Oxford, right? 7A Jesus Lane, think about that for an address. Yeah. 7A Jesus Lane, that's a top address in it as far as that type of thing goes. So what would be the opposite of 7A Jesus Lane, right? Would be the pit. So the opposite of the 7A Jesus Lane would be the pit. The pit is the abyss, Revelation 9:1, right? So now the 9, an immensely deep space, right? Deep space. So we heard that one before, right? And something the place that refers to the place of the dead. So now how does T's view natural people, right, as the dead. Second temple, see, the second temple is the rebuilt temple, right? The reconstructed temple, right? My body is a temple, reconstructed temple, right? But this bottomless pit, more often associated with demonic forces, right? So there's the hex type of thing, right? The bottomless pit. The story up in the pit of the abyss, Brad Pitt. You know, like the stars, you know. Satanic attacks, the abyss. And he threw him into the abyss and bound him for 1,000 years, right, and sealed it over. So again, this is the day with 1,000-year period of Christ, what they're bringing in at this point, right? Shutting Satan up for 1,000 years and bringing in the new age of Christ. See? So Satan becomes the natural people, the evil, the hate and all that. Of course, a lot more references to pit, in the Bible, like he made a pit and digged it. The pit. Or an ox or donkey falls into it, the owner of the pit shall make restitution, right? Oxford. Remember that Cambridge, Cam, is basically Cain, right? It's the same as Cain, right? Or Ham, or James, right? It's the same type of thing, right? So when you have Oxford and Cambridge, you're talking about, you know, Cain and Abel again and all this. Plenty of pits about in this thing, right? And of course, Joseph was thrown into a pit as well, see? Thrown into a pit by his brothers. A king, the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in Hebrew is a bad one, a bad name, right? Whose name is a bad one, and threw them into the pit. So basically, these could be deciding who goes into the pit. Type of metaphor, right? From this particular location, the pit club, Jesus Lane, right? In 78 Jesus Lane, right? And in the 1990s, sold a 25-year leasehold on the ground floor to Pizza Express chain, right? Once known as Xanadu, so a lot of X, right? X marks the spot for the cross, the Pizza Express chain, right? On the site of 78 Jesus Lane. Which brings to this, right? Pizza Express in Woking, see? You know that work idea is always gone about on media stuff now, isn't it? Work, see? Pizza Express in Woking. So he was at the pit club, the 78 Jesus Lane pit club. See? All coded. At the Pizza Express. The pit club. So as we see, read this hex, right, this particular hex of the Andrew and that, right, it's what they've made, right. He made a pit and digged it, is falling into the ditch which he made, right. So it's the hex idea. His mischief shall return upon his own head, right. So it's the idea of thinking these type of things, believing these things, and they're digging a pit for yourself, right, like a mental pit, right. And this, they get there again, see, a donkey falling into a pit, like a donkey becoming a sort of daft creature, right, the same as an ox, as in Oxford, a dumb creature that's led into these traps. So that's what it's the meaning of, see, when they prepare these hexes. So they're out there to dig a pit, right, open the pit up and you drop yourself in the pit or fall in. Oxford, or a donkey falls into it. The dead animal shall become his. He shall become the owner. See? Because they wish to own you through all that hex. And the dead animal shall become his, see? You become theirs if you buy into the hexes and what have you. Mentally enslaved, you see. You open the bottomless pit and the smoke. Of course, the smoke and mirrors. See, the illusions and lies, read. But also when you have like hexes like the 9/11, they always put the smoke, see, the massive amounts of smoke signals the this, see, signals this stuff, the smoke of the pit. The sun and the air was darkened by the smoke of the pit. Of course, you know, it's the hexes, isn't it? 21, 33, 34, 777, 33, 7. The blind man opening the pit. Walk like a blind man, stumble and fall into the pit. In connection with the same stuff, right, you got these witnesses, the two witnesses, right? The beast from the abyss arrived to make war on the two witnesses, right? Anointed priest and king. The beast is about to come up from the abyss and the two witnesses are killed. Right? Of course you have this here, right here. Prince Andrew accuser seeks witnesses in a sex abuse lawsuit. Judith Lightfoot, right? The witnesses and the beast and the pit. How many witnesses? 6 witnesses, the hex. The two, see, the two and the witnesses. And the sex is basically the 6. So it's a double hex, like in a Janus. See? A hex. Pizza Express rape case. Witness willing to testify. The Pit Club again, right? And you have your notable members of the Pit Club. Edward VII, the United Kingdom, Prince Albert, George V, son of the Maharaja, Bertram Brooke, and of course this one, what's this one? Charles, Prince of Wales. Charles, Princess of Wales, Prince of Wales, just happens to be Andrew's brother, see, sister. Very, very funny, huh? Magdalen College, Cambridge, see, Mary Magdalene, Land of Hope and Glory. King's College, Cambridge, Eton College, University Vice Chancellor, that's MRGMs. So just, just read like a who's who list of the Cambridge and Oxford club, done it. There you go.